Hey, 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 happy day. Are you in the driver's seat like our tiger friend? Well, chicken lost. Or are you in the passenger seat? Pretend this is a car, not a tractor. Are you in the passenger seat or are you being a backseat driver? Or are you like our sheepy friend? Or I like this orangutan because he's scratching his head. And I wish I had an ostrich, but I don't. All I have is a llama. Or are you like a llama or a sheep or an ape scratching his head? Our chicken fell out of the car, sorry. Where are you at with respect to your business right now? This is, of course, an American idiom, in the driver's seat, and it means to be in control, in a position of authority. And right now, although what's going on outside of us and around us and in the economy and with our businesses is outside of our control in many situations, it doesn't mean we can't still be in the driver's seat. We can still be in control and moving forward no matter what. Even if our business is shut down right now, I'm working and talking to people every day whose business is shut down, and we're brainstorming ideas of what they can do. Because guess what? Every single one of us can continue to do something to serve the people that we were serving, whether our business is opened or not, right? And if you think that you can't, hit me up in the comments below and I'll be glad to do a quick brainstorming session with you and give you at least a half a dozen ways that you can continue to serve your customers, whatever they are, whatever industry, whatever business, right here, right now in this economy. So, are you in the driver's seat? Are you in control? Are you the one driving the ship? And I'm going to talk about the different roles that you might be taking. And guess what? We go in and out of these roles depending on how we're feeling, what's going on, what our thoughts are, all of the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Each and every one of us are going to fill and be in different roles throughout our businesses and throughout our lives. We need to make sure that we are steering the ship, that we are the driver, that we are creating the vision and painting the picture for our organization, because nobody else is going to do that for us, right? But sometimes we are that navigator, that person that's in the front seat with you, you know, the co-pilot, helping with navigation, helping with instructions, helping to lead to make sure that you get to your final destination in the best way possible. So sometimes we're the navigator. Sometimes we let other people lead different functions in our businesses and in our lives and in our families and our relationships, and we take a sideline supporting position. Other times, we're the backseat driver, where we're telling people what to do and they're not listening to us. Whether we're right or wrong, it doesn't matter, because we're doing it in a way that isn't really contributing positively to the situation. I don't know about you, but whenever I was driving, I seldom if ever appreciated a backseat bossy driver, and that's why I picked Bossy the cow to represent the backseat driver. Chicken maybe wasn't the best example or the best animal to pick from my granddaughter's farm to represent the passenger, the person just going along for a ride. Maybe a duck would have been a better one, but it's who would fit in the wagon, right? Who would fit in the car? So the passengers, as passengers, I've been a passenger a lot. I guess I've played all these roles, which is why I thought of them today when I was thinking about this idiom. Sometimes you're just a passenger. Sometimes you're just along for the ride because you want to have a good experience. You want something to do. I was a passenger the other day. I just rode along with my son when he went to pick up my prescription at Target, just to get out of the house, just to go along for the ride, just for, you know, the experience of participating in something, or out of curiosity. I was actually curious to see how they were setting up, how they were dealing with customers, how they were separating and making sure that things were safe and sanitary, and I was actually really, really impressed at what they were doing. They were going and they were doing things that they needed to do to make sure that all of the customers were continuing to be safe. And the truth is, our businesses are going to have to, whether we're shut down or not, continue to change and continue and evolve, because we're going to be facing a brand new world. It's not going to be 100% changed, but it's going to be dramatically changed and different. And it's up to us to be paying attention and figuring out how we're going to make those changes and how we're going to make those differences. Even if our business is shut down right now, we need to be thinking about that and planning for that, if indeed we want our businesses to survive and thrive after the time frame that we might be shut down. If your business is still running, and I've worked with people like that, they know that they have to keep really running, and they're not just running their business as usual, they're running their business at a whole nother level. Everyone that's still in business has had to step up their game significantly to continue to serve people, right? They're looking at areas and gaps in their businesses that they never realized they had before. I mean, think of the grocery store supply chain gaps that have been uncovered by this situation, by this pandemic, and they're fixing and filling those gaps in order to continue to serve all of us better in the future. And then there's the people on the sidelines that are just out spitting on everything, right? Or are following the media or the politicians that are spewing negativity, and they're outside the car just shouting and yelling at the driver, yelling at the car, how dare you be there, how dare you exist. And I'm sure at times I've played that role, but I try not to, right? I try to stay out of the role of contributing to any situation negatively. Even if I feel negative about something or have a strong opinion about something, I ask myself, is that any of my business? Am I going to be contributing to the situation in a positive or a negative way? And this can come down to even the little things. On social media right now, there's a ton of positivity, but there's a ton of negativity. You can hop into, and I caught myself a couple of times responding on people's negative posts, and I wrote something and then I actually deleted it because I'm like, no, I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not going to get involved in that because that's contributing to the problem. It's not contributing to the solution. And each of us get to decide how we're going to show up. So are you going to show up and be the driver? Are you going to show up and be the navigator? Are you going to show up and be the backseat driver? Are you going to be the passenger? What role are you playing right now? And is that the best role for you? In a lot of situations, just being the passenger and going along with the experience, learning from the experience is the right role for you. In most of our businesses, we need to take more of a driver's seat or a navigator role in order to contribute positively to the situation. Because the bottom line is, it's going to be businesses and business owners and private enterprise that put our economy back to where it was and even better than it was before. It's going to fall to individuals and businesses and each and every one of us to make the world a better place. It's not going to come from our government. It's not going to come from WHO or CDC or anybody like that. It's going to come from each and every one of us stepping up and being the best version of ourselves that we can be and contributing to every situation in the way that we best are suited to do that. We can't control the things that go on around us, but we can control how we respond to them and how we are making the world a better place. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day. Would love to know if you've got any experience with this idiom. I know I sure do. In the driver's seat, growing up in corporate America, growing up with my sisters and my dad and in my family, we definitely had some battles over who was going to be in the driver's seat. But we all ended up being in our own driver's seats, and that is how it should be. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. I'm actually doing a free 30-day challenge right now to help people to know each and every day what to do to guarantee that they're better off at the end of April than they were at the beginning of April, no matter what it is that they're trying to achieve. Mostly I'm helping business owners make sure that they're better off, but also anybody who is in a position where they've lost their job and they're not 100% sure that their job is going to come back. This would help them too, because we all need to be preparing for the future. Even though the future is unknown, we need to be preparing for it. Have an amazing day, and I will be with you tomorrow.